Alright, so today I'm going to cover the 7-2 Wart fight. This is a big hurdle when learning this game, especially to do it quickly. There's a pretty standard way you can get a 6-cycle fight on Wart, and you can do this for multiple times within his pattern, depending on when you arrive on the fight, and I'll kind of explain what I mean by that. So I'll first cover some of the mechanics here. So we get over here, a vegetable shot out of the middle, and that was not common to get a vegetable and no bubbles, so let's actually just kind of go in and start this fight again. So every 4.2 seconds, Wart is going to shoot some bubbles, and a vegetable is going to pop out of one of these 3 pipes here. So the first one comes out of that middle pipe, we saw that second one come out of the right pipe, we're going to get another one out of this middle one, and the next one's going to come out of here. And this is a standard pattern. The first one will always come out of the middle pipe, and then it goes right, middle, left, middle, right, middle, left, middle, right, middle, left, middle. So every other one comes out of this middle pipe, and then the other one, the off middle pipe ones, are in a set pattern that they alternate left and right. And furthermore, the direction that they shoot out of these pipes is standard. So sometimes they can shoot to the right, sometimes they can shoot to the left, and that is always standard. This middle pipe, the first 2 always go right, and then the next 2 will go left. On this right pipe, the first one always shoots out to the left, and there the second one went out to the right. And it's kind of opposite on the left one. The first one shoots out right, second one shoots out left, and they alternate from there. So the middle pipe goes 2 right, 2 left, 2 right, 2 left, 2 right, 2 left, so on and so forth. The rightmost pipe, the one closest to Wart, goes left, right, and then the one furthest from Wart goes left, right, right. Or sorry, right, left, left. And so Wart's movement here, he always starts in the back when you spawn him, and then just kind of moves back and forth on a set cadence. So that doesn't depend on these 4.2 second cycles that his bubbles and the vegetables depend on. That is entirely dependent on when you spawn him on screen. And so the consequence of them not being perfectly synced up is that it's possible to kind of get different patterns with Wart, that sometimes he's shooting sometimes he's shooting bubbles from the back, sometimes he's shooting bubbles from the front. And so it's kind of important, unless you're really good at getting to this fight at the exact same time every time, it's kind of important to have a game plan for no matter which pattern you get. And so this save state I have is kind of me under the assumption that I played this level perfectly. And as you can see, I got a vegetable spawn that I just couldn't reach. It's unlikely for me to play a level this perfectly without save state, so I typically don't have to worry about that. But if somehow I played a run and I just blazed through the level, 0 mistakes, I would know right here I'd have to wait a little bit before I came in. Here, let's load that save state, wait a little bit, come in. And so I know the first one is going to come out of the right side here, and Wart, since I'm kind of early in the cycle here, Wart moved away from me. And so that first hit is a little tricky. So we're going to start getting into the fight here. So small hesitation to assume I didn't play the level perfectly. Save state. And there are a couple different ways to do this. I like to do a super jump to grab the vegetable as quickly as possible. And then you can get a hit. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll run down here and get a hit. Either is fine. You don't even need the super jump. You can just jump up here and grab it. It's not that bad. Especially on the center and right pipes, you have plenty of time to not need to do the super jump. I just kind of do it out of habit. So I always start, get this. Let's see, I delayed there because I wasn't prepared. Grab the vegetable, make the throw. Okay, so the second one is going to come out of here. Boom, make another hit. And so that third one then, there we go. So first one, second one, you can either stand down here or up here. I like going up here. So the third one's going to come out right, and there's 3. Fourth one, similar. Now this next one is a tricky one, because the first and fifth bubble pattern that Wart shoots come out much lower. So you have a couple different options. When you arrive early in the cycle, like I'm showing right now, the easiest thing to do is just come under here, get a hit, and then you can be ready for final hit here. But yeah, it's this one here. If you get here late in the pattern, it's this fifth hit that is the biggest difference. The first, the second, the third, the fourth, and even the sixth are all pretty similar, and you don't have to worry about them too much. It's really this fifth one that you got to navigate because of the low bubble pattern. Alright, so I'm going to cut here, make a new save state coming in to this fight sort of late in the pattern, and then I will show what that looks like. Alright, so now I'm going to show what the fight looks like if you get here towards the end of the pattern. This is more in line with what the top couple players would see when they enter this fight. For me, it's what I see if I make a couple small mistakes throughout the level. You know, I don't get here fast enough for the fastest Wart cycle, so this is kind of the fight for if I make either like one medium mistake or two small mistakes. For the most part, it's very similar. The first hit's a lot easier, the fifth hit is a little harder, but there are a couple ways to do it, and then the sixth hit is faster. So ideally you kind of would show up here for a little extra speed, but you know, if you have a plan of attack for either, it's fine. Getting in here in the middle of a cycle gets a little tricky on the fifth hit, and you'll kind of see why based on how I'm approaching this. So I don't have like a super set game plan for that, but yeah, if you get here just in time for a cycle, it's pretty straightforward too to get a sixth cycle. So let's see what that looks like. Alright, so still gonna come out of here. You see, whoa, okay, don't do that. I was just gonna talk about how easy this is because Wart is so close. You can just jump up here, get this hit. I'm gonna make a save state here so I don't embarrass myself like that again. Second hit. Third hit. Fourth hit. Alright, so fifth hit. What I like to do is just chuck this vegetable basically as high and far as I can. So I build up a little bit of speed on this platform here, jump and you know, full jump and throw. And so that works. A lot of people will kind of do a little crouch jump in here, then have to dodge. To me, that's really scary. I do not like doing that. So I definitely prefer to just come over here and chuck it. It's very difficult to throw it too far. You can, you know, especially if Wart starts moving back to the left a little bit, but for the most part, it's very consistent to, oh there, I missed it, as I'm talking about how consistent it is. Yeah, so if I just, yeah, so I had to like do an exaggerated throw here to make it too far, but just, you know, throwing from the apex of the jump is going to hit pretty much every time when Wart's all the way back there. So then, the sixth hit, you can just grab and throw. You know, if you're a little nervous to do that, or if you're on just barely sub 9 pace, you can kind of jump up and then throw it. Not that I would have any experience losing a sub 9 run to that, but that's kind of how you do it. Oh, I didn't jump soon enough here. Yeah, you want to jump pretty much as soon as that vegetable's on screen. The standard strategy that a lot of beginners will use is they'll let that first vegetable get hit by the bubbles, and then they'll grab the second bubble, and then do some like buffer jumps. You know, with Toad, 5 small jumps, and then a throw once Wart either closes his mouth or stops blinking after taking a hit. Some people will do like 3 small jumps after the bubbles go off screen, but that isn't consistent based on how high Wart shoots his bubbles. I was never any good at doing the jump buffers, so I pretty quickly started trying to get a hit on the same cycle that the vegetable would come out. And it's not bad. You got to learn it. You definitely need to know where the vegetable is going to come from, and which, that the first and fifth bubble patterns that Wart shoots out are lower. But for the most part, you can get a 6 cycle fairly easily. I mean, I certainly miss during runs. Especially if you kind of end up in a weird spot where that 5th hit, Wart's not all the way back or all the way front. You can kind of do like a weak throw, or like try and thread it in and dodge the bubbles, but it gets a little tricky if you're in between his cycles. But if you enter the fight at the start or end of a cycle, you should be able to get a 6 cycle more than half the time, I would say. And then one other thing I would mention is if you do take a death in the Wart fight, the first vegetable isn't necessarily going to come out of the right side of the middle pipe. The overall pattern is still the same. This one still goes 2 right, 2 left, 2 right, 2 left. This one goes left, right, left, right. This one goes right, left, right, left. But where you start in the cycle is going to depend on when you die. So definitely want to get this fight right the first time. If you're not comfortable in doing that, don't go for this in a run. This is sort of aimed at people, probably with PBs below 10 minutes already. Although, honestly, I started going for this earlier just because I was comfortable with it. But, most people find it easier to do the buffer jumps at first. So if you're either looking to shave off some time from your PB, or if you're like me and had a lot of trouble getting consistency with the buffer jump strategy, yeah, definitely give it a shot, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Twitch.tv/KurtzNewBrand. Same handle on Twitter and Instagram. I'm also around on a lot of the Mario 2 Discords if you have any questions. But yeah, happy hunting. Make sure you feed Wart his vegetables, and hope everyone has a good one. Thanks. Bye.